And welcome to In-Game Chat, Saturday, March 27th, 2021, Season 15, Episode 11. Is that right? Episode 11? Yeah, it is. Episode 11. I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
Welcome to the show. Matt not with us, and of course, Matt won't be back with us until well over a month. Mm-hmm. If he couldn't make this show, he wasn't going to make it for the next ever how many weeks. So he won't be back again until sometime in May. We'll get around to him. So, anyway, welcome to the show. I can check in and see what Nate's doing. I haven't heard from him on forever.
Yeah.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. Streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv. You can watch the show and look at us. You can also join in the chat room live while we broadcast and, chat away with everybody else in there if you'd like to as well. You want to go that extra mile. Basically, just go to our website, go all the way to the bottom. You'll find our link to our Discord that Nabokov fan set up for us, which is wonderful. Thank you for doing that. A link to the stream so you can watch the show as well. So, all right there for you. He says he gets his clapper board out and claps away. So good. RJ, what
yes,
have
sir.
you played since we last checked in with you?
A little bit of Tekken 7. We got all the DLC came out. We had a recent new character come out named Lydia, Polish girl who does karate.
She tattooed?
Tattooed? No, but she's scarred. Okay. She is scarred though.
Just reminded me of a song, but that's a.
What song is this?
Lydia the Tattooed Lady. Lydia the Tattooed Lady. Yes. It's something I heard on Muppets, the Muppet Show, way back when.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
I don't remember. I just remember the name of the song, Lydia the Tattooed Lady.
One of those radio things, huh?
No, this was before I got into radio.
But it stuck in your head.
It did, yeah.
Now, he's going to be singing this song on the way home, folks, I guarantee you.
Yeah, Lydia the Tattooed Lady. Oh, it's a Marx Brothers thing. But yeah, the Muppet Show did it.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia the Tattooed Lady, the Muppet Show. I wish I could figure out which season it was because all the episodes of the Muppet Show are on Disney Plus now.
Mm-hmm. I
say all. There are a few exceptions of which.
Are they censored?
No, there is one. They pulled at least one episode because the guy who was guest hosting ended up getting into some trouble.
Okay.
Later on in life.
Okay. With
children.
Okay.
So they just eliminated that. They're just like, yeah, we'll just take that episode out.
Okay.
And as far as I know, I think that's it. There may be one or two that are missing that nobody else can kind of figure out why. Either maybe they couldn't get music rights to it or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, we had a discussion a while back about music rights and all the hurdles you got to jump to get those things in, man. It's a pain to go through. But yeah,
go ahead. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail. But if you're going to bring, if Muppets are going to come up, I'm going to derail. That's
I get it. Yeah, but Tekken 7 had a new character come out. Lydia, I'm trying to remember her name. Lydia Sobieska, Polish girl who does karate, and she's been received pretty well from what I've gathered from what I looked at. Hard striker, countering moves, things like that. As with all new characters in fighting games, people are going to take their time to figure out what she's about, what she can do, what she can punish, what she can take, and what she can't. I'm still having a good time with Steve Fox. I've played with that character since ever, and I haven't had any reason to switch up to anybody else. But I spent a lot of time with that. it might be the last DLC that we get from this for a while. I think there's talk about it being the last DLC or not going to have any more coming out in the future. I mean, the game's came out in 2016, 2017. It's been a while, so it maybe the last hurrah for that. Maybe start working on Tekken 8 or something else in the future. Also played a bit of another old title, Disc Jam.
Oh yeah,
I was playing that a little bit. Didn't expect to find matches in there. I was just goofing around, seeing what I could see, and I was able to find a couple of matches relatively quickly. Didn't take long for me to get a matchup at all. As opposed to spending time playing against the AI, which knows the route of every disc you throw before you even get it out of your hands. The AI is already going to be where the disc is at, so that would be good to practice in terms of playing how to judge angles and things like that for yourself. Play against the AI who knows where it's going to be. It's always going to come back to you. So play against that, get some practice in learning how to catch the disc as it bounces off the walls, and you'll have a much better time playing against people online because they can't predict it like an AI does. Right. Yeah. So outside of that, a little bit more of Cyberpunk. I had to start over the Corpo playthrough I had because something glitched out again. So I just decided to start over from scratch.
And this is why I'm used to it. That's why I haven't even started that game. Yeah. That's why I have not even started that game.
Yeah. I guess I'm getting used to it. It's amazing what you get used to when you get exposed to it long enough, I guess.
I suppose.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I have the patience to do all of that. If you're wondering why I'm, you're talking and I'm sitting here looking at my phone. Mm-hmm. I spent a good amount of time downstairs. Mm-hmm. And was working on some other stuff and forgot to send up our music for today.
Part of our charm. We always forget something before our show starts.
How long have we been doing this? Here's the weird thing. Here's the weirdest thing. Just before we went on, I'm thinking in my head, I feel like I've forgotten something, but I think that's just my paranoia. Mm-hmm. You should say that on the air. You should go on and be like, I feel like I've forgotten something, but I don't really think I have. You just let them know that, you feel like you have, but there probably isn't anything you forgot. Mm-hmm. Nope. Totally forgot this.
Yeah.
Totally forgot this.
Mm-hmm. But as opposed to Cyberpunk, what I should be doing, I should be getting into my backlog. And one thing I really need to do, I need to finish what I started with Sekiro. That's what I need to do. I need to put down Cyberpunk for a little while and get back into something that I need to finish.
Something that's stable, too.
Yeah. Something that's stable and won't glitch out on
me. Something that works.
Yeah. Something that works, yeah. Of course, yeah. Sekiro does that. I haven't heard anything about glitches. Just the difficulty that people go through playing with bosses and the enemies in that game. Yeah. But it's something I started, but it's been so long since I've picked that game up that I've forgotten everything. So I may as well start over and go through the tutorial and everything and get everything set right and start playing through that game again. And actually finish it this time.
Okay, I was going to say, but why? That was my going to be my point. Mm-hmm. Why start because you can finish it this time? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That does. That and the fact that I didn't get too far in terms of some playthroughs I've looked at. I wasn't too far from the intro anyway. Mm-hmm. I mean, that I was comfortable going back to. I could build that stuff up again, find some stuff, pick up some skills, all that stuff. It's not that much of a hassle for me doing that. Just diligently sit down and start playing, and I'll get back to where I was before I put it down. Yeah. So I'll be doing that. Also, I'll be playing that next week and starting that up again. But that's it. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, it was more Destiny. Of course, we ran the raid last week. I mean, I've just been. It's kind of a weekly thing. Here's the way that my Destiny used to be a thing where I'd come home and basically go sit at the computer, look at the internet for a minute, and then eventually fire up Destiny, get into it, and work. And I would do this. Reset hits on Tuesday, and I would do it Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, and then Saturday. Saturday, it's different. Back then, Saturday mornings were I would just kind of get up, probably wouldn't even touch the game. Mm-hmm. I'd, go on the internet, look at stuff here, make sure things are good for the show, sleep in, whatever. Just I probably wouldn't touch it because I had touched all that time. I would touch it when I got done with the show and then go back to the house and everything else. Then I'd pop in, we'd run a raid, and then I'd play all into the night. And then Sunday I would get up, maybe play in the afternoon or something. Mm-hmm. It's all changed now. I go home and I change clothes and I go walking for 2 miles. and then I come home and I get my random facts ready for the next day, which is a segment I do on the morning show here. And that puts me at like 6 or 7 o'clock. That's it. So I don't touch. I barely touch the game during the week. It's Saturday mornings now. I get up. It's some ungodly hour, like 6 o'clock now. I just wake up. I just wake up at 6. It feels like I'm sleeping in because I get up at 4:30 every morning, but it feels like I'm sleeping in. 6:30. I think I got up at 6, close to 7 this morning.
It's like a range where you're used to getting up at a certain time, and then when you don't have to get up at the time, it's going to be within 1 or 2 hours maybe that you're going to get up eventually. And
the majority of my Destiny time is on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. That is the majority of the time that I put into the game, Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. So I played the game this morning until about 11. And then I think I got in another really quick run just before we left to come up here. So,
was it a struggle doing your raid without the clown car effect?
No. We had done the raid without that for a long time, and then we discovered that, and we're like, well, let's do it this way. Whole lot more fun, which it is. But no, it wasn't. In fact, it went faster.
Oh, faster. Okay, goodness.
Well, because everybody knows what they're doing. There's less deaths to contend with. The AI isn't as glitchy as it is, because when you put more people in there, some of the enemies will just vanish right in front of you because they're supposed to be at some other, this many people come out of this door, this many people come out of this door. If you've got this ever how many people in here, well, we're recognizing that there's more than this, and so it gets really confused, and you'll have some of the grunt enemy type stuff, just the fodder. Will just pop up. You'll be shooting them 1 minute and they'll vanish, and they'll be somewhere else across the map.
Still hurt,
getting shot somewhere else.
Still hurt.
Oh yeah, they still take the damage. It's just that they're supposed. It's strange. It's weird. And that's the reason it was never meant to be. It wasn't programmed to have that many people in it. So doing it normal. There wasn't a lot of over talking. Everybody knew what here's the role, here's what you're supposed to do, get it done. They got it done. Even to the point of telling me, like, don't worry about it. Just, we'll tell you where to go. They didn't put whole lot of, what's the word? Responsibility into my life.
Okay.
For the same reason I told you the other day as to why I didn't play until dawn. Same reason. But they're like, you just shoot stuff, man. Don't worry about it. You pick something up, we're going to tell you where to go, but and they told me where to go. He's like, I need you to go drop the bomb at number 4. And I know where that is in my head. And so I headed to that one, but at some point in the run to number 4, right next to it is this, what they call a shower. It is it's got a yellow light. You deposit one of your buffs, I guess. You can put a buff into that thing so somebody else can pick it up.
Okay.
And for some reason, my focus on 4 shifted to the light. And I was walking, and you only have a certain amount of time before this bomb blows up while you're walking over there.
You got distracted by the shiny.
I know. I was like, oh no, I'm going to the wrong thing. I'm going to die. Boom, I blew up. I died. Well, somebody else picked up the bomb deposit. We didn't wipe it all. We got through it.
So you're carrying an active bomb.
But they told me, they're like, just shoot stuff. Don't worry about it.
This was after you blew yourself up.
Well, because I was holding I don't know. I was trying to help, It's one of those things. I can help. I was trying to help. That's all. And you see where it got me. So
dead.
Yeah, it got me dead. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff done this morning. I finished up all of my Iron Banner bounties, which there's 4 of them, but it takes a good amount of time to get those things. The only reason I do those is because they give you the higher rewards.
Yeah, it's certainly not for the gear that Lord Saladin gives you.
I got my sniper rifle ornament because I killed ever how many in Crucible that I'm supposed to kill. I don't know. You're supposed to get I don't know what it is. You and your crew are supposed to kill ever how many Guardians. Then you're supposed to have like 20 precision kills.
Okay. Headshots, okay.
And 50 final blows with a sniper. In other words, that was the killing shot. Was the one that you put in there with the sniper rifle. You have to do it with the sniper rifle. And I finally, that was months and months of building up. That's something that was carried over from the beginning of the last season.
Yeah.
And then there's a new grenade launcher this year, and so there's an ornament for that if you use it in Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible. And this morning I wrapped up my Crucible part of that and my Strikes. And for Gambit, I'm very, very, very close. I didn't have a chance to play Gambit this morning, but that'll be wrapped up tomorrow when I get that done. So lots and lots to get that done. So yeah, Destiny was played, and we finally finished Until Dawn.
Finished it off.
Finished it last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm asking how many characters survived?
Out of the initial group, all but 2.
Lost 2 of them?
Yeah, only lost 2.
Was Matt one of them?
No.
Matt survived.
Matt survived.
From what I gathered, he was like the hardest one to save, but that's only that's only a certain path that I'm thinking about. There could have been multiple paths that could have got that point.
Depends on which path you walk
which path
down,
that you
sir.
take, yeah. So who's the other character?
Jessica and Josh are the 2 that died.
Okay. Jessica and Josh.
Jessica, because I didn't get to her in time. Way early on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a limit, yeah. Okay.
Because he says that. Like, as the credits roll, you get the characters talking about stuff. And
in the police...
Yeah.
Yeah, the interrogation at the end, yeah.
And Matt is just nothing but... I think it's Matt, right?
The jock.
Yeah, but what's the name of the black kid?
Matt.
That's Matt?
Matt.
What's the name of the white kid?
Mike.
Is that Mike?
Mike.
Okay. See, that's my problem. I was confused as to who Mike or Matt was.
Let's say, okay, the dude that played in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I have no idea.
You never saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, wait a second. That's his actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mike.
Okay.
Mike.
I was like, he's kind of familiar, but I totally didn't recognize the name.
I can remember now. I can't remember his name, but he was the guy that played as
I know who you're talking about
the Hydra agent.
No,
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, that guy.
Totally.
That guy played as Mike. That's the one.
I totally see that now.
Okay, yeah.
I totally see that. Anyway, that guy was the one that was saying, if I was just quicker, I could have saved Jessica. I could have saved her if I was just quicker. Yeah. He was saying that in his little police interrogation. Matt's was saved too. I don't remember what he said in his interrogation thing. I'm not sure.
It's something, usually it's something involving the one that you initially hated from the get-go. The one who said it was just a prank hand.
Oh, yeah, she's saved too.
She's saved too.
Yeah, we got her saved.
Usually Matt's talking about her in the interrogation.
Well, she was talking about Matt, I guess, or Mike. I can't remember. I think it's Matt. She was talking about Matt real bad in the interrogation, talking about like how, hey, he said I'm his girlfriend, right? Like she's really shows a lot of insecurity.
Her priority is her.
Yeah.
And herself alone. So she's not gonna she wouldn't think about anybody else but herself, really. And in any aspect of the interrogation I saw of her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Josh, I'm sure there's a way to save Josh. It didn't seem I don't know. I don't exactly know what the way would have been to save Josh. I'd have to probably look that up. I'm sure there are guides as to here's how you can save everyone, or here's the correct way to go through. I don't even know if there's a correct way. I don't know if that's the good ending type of thing. I don't know if that exists. Usually in your multipath video games, the games where you play things and you divert the story off the regular path, and there's multiple different endings. Usually there is, here's the ending that's canon. Here's the good ending, the one that you should strive for.
Yeah, but
here's all the other endings.
Yeah, but I would imagine a true good ending would be everybody saved, of course, like that. The true bad ending was that no one does.
Is there a way that everybody dies?
I'm not sure. Possibly. If you make every bad decision you could possibly make, I would imagine everybody would be dead. That game would probably end early.
I'm curious.
I don't know if that's even possible. It might be.
I'm kind of curious.
Now that I think about it, it might be. Because everybody can die in this game. So, why not?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So
it's interesting.
Yeah. Now it's along the lines of what happens if I do this? If I do now that I'm going back, what happens if I go this way? What happens if I go that way?
Right.
Yeah.
We went to the butterfly effect page and was looking at the different things here where you could do that. And then, of course, you go to the chapters. And so we were thinking that, here's the one where Jessica was, I think that's the chapter where we lose Jessica, so we need to go back to that, play that over, and get him there quicker.
Yeah.
We weren't sure exactly which chapter that was.
So what delayed you what delayed you from getting
I can't
Jessica?
remember. I can't remember.
Was it QTEs or something else that happened?
It was probably the decisions in which way you would go about doing stuff. Because there's one where it's like run here or hide or climb this or jump over this instead of doing,
Oh, go left or go right?
Yeah,
that type of thing? Or?
Not necessarily go left or go right, but one would be, jump to this direction or shimmy to this direction. You know what I'm saying? One being quicker, one being slower.
Jump down the hill, which would get you faster, but you might hurt yourself, or shimmy along this thing, which would keep you safe, but it may take you a little longer to get to where. Okay,
there was always that sort of thing, and I can't remember. I can't remember the choices that we made that far back to know what put us on that path. But there was probably a lot of points where it was, jump down or climb down, just like you said, or run up these steps, or carefully make your way around, some sort of thing that makes it go slower. And we must have picked the slower parts of that. I don't really know. And see, that's very clear on here's how I can go back and fix this. Josh's part is not very clear. I don't exactly know how I could have saved Josh. I have an idea because. So a lot of these, the way the game works, gameplay-wise, is you'll be walking along and there'll be something shiny. You won't see what that is. It'll just be a glint, a little bright light thing.
Little clue thing, yeah.
So if you walk up to it, that little light turns into an X button. You press X, and whatever happens next happens. If it's a collectible, your character will bend down, pick up the collectible, and you'll look at it. The problem with that is that sometimes you'd come across this, and it would show the X button. You'd press it thinking that you're going to pick up a clue or something, but turns out it was a trigger to, jump down off of the ledge that you were standing on. Not knowing this, because there were sometimes it would pop up as you got close where it says jump down, press X. Sometimes it would not, and it's just you press it and you're already in the animation of moving into a different area because you selected X rather than, going into a different area and kind of exploring if you wanted to do that. So, which again, I didn't really have a problem with that. There's a few, if I'm going to really critique this game, I'll give you a few problems. First off, you gotta look at the age of the game itself. So some of the character models are very good facially. Yeah. But, there are moments that don't seem fluid or natural. I don't want to say the lip syncing, but the mouth moving to form the words or to show emotion. Some of that was off. Yeah. Some of that didn't translate as well as it possibly could have, and I'll see what happens with Man of Medan because I got that downloading now at the house. Okay. For Xbox,
as opposed to L.A. Noire, because part of that game, it's specifically focused on facial motions and things like that, because that's the only way you could tell if someone was lying or being untruthful or holding something back on you. Yeah, so maybe that wasn't as much of a focus on a game like Until Dawn as opposed to L.A. Noire.
Yeah, that's a good question. Until Dawn came after L.A. Noire. So you'd think they would try and maybe work on that. I mean, they got the representation. Obviously, like I said, I recognize the actor now. The other guy from
Rami Malek.
Yeah. Him and the other
Hayden Panettiere.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, you can recognize the facial features to know that that's who that person is. Right. However, some of the movements, some of the lip syncing, some of that is a little off. The writing, obviously, is whatever. It's a teen B movie slasher thing. Yeah. If they're trying to write in that vein, they're nailing it. If they're not, and they're trying to, I don't know, elevate the form, I suppose, that's not happening either. But story-wise, going into that, not bad. I didn't like, and I hate to throw, of course, I'm spoiling a game that is, I don't know how many years old now.
2015 was when it came out.
Yeah, I'm spoiling a game that's 6 years old. They actually inserted a supernatural element into it, which I didn't like.
Okay.
You know, I liked the masked psycho killer dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's realism there in some way.
Yeah.
There is a grounded sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then they threw something supernatural into it, and yeah, it fits with what they're trying to do, but I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked, because up until that point,
it did fit.
Yeah, up until that
fit.
point, yeah. I thought, okay, we've got mass psycho killer, then we got some dude living in the morgue, or whatever that place is over there,
Mm-hmm.
who may or may not be crazy. We don't know anything about him. We find out later.
Yeah.
But at that time, he's just over there doing his thing. This guy, and that's it. And you're thinking, okay, it's from these two, or maybe even a third that may come into play later, which a third does come into play later, but it's the supernatural element.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. It provided some real tense moments, especially towards the end there.
Yeah, it did.
Very good tense moments.
It did.
But, yeah, personal preference, didn't like that. I didn't like the whole deal with I liked where they were going with the psychologist guy.
Mm-hmm.
The therapist dude.
Yeah.
I liked kind of where they were going with that until they stopped going in that direction with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything sort of switched and changed, and
the supernatural element took over at that point, didn't it?
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it took over.
Like, I enjoyed the way his office would slightly change every time you would go back, and it seemed to represent something. And obviously, I know it's representing the decaying mind of the patient that he's talking to. But eventually, because he taps into whatever it is that your fears and your dislikes are. It taps into those,
right?
And then eventually, it sheds all of that and just goes away and doesn't do that. And I kind of liked. I'd liked it better if they kept the mystery of whoever the interviewer person was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the reveal of that. I liked it better as being some anonymous source where the player could say, "That's me."
Mm-hmm.
That's it, they're talking to me and they're basing it on this, which they didn't do or anything like that. So, we are real close. Who do we got on the? Okay. I'm hoping he can hold, because I do want to get back and talk to this. Blux Gambler's on the line. If you can hold through this break, please. If not, you can call back. But I do want to talk to you because you've played this, and I want to talk to you about it. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have that and more here on In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Hellish Court. I know. I don't know anything about Hellish Court. I think it's a samurai-ish game, I think.
Hellish Court?
It's Court. Q-U-A-R-T.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Cooking.
It's a survival game. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. It's a physics-based, realistic 3D sword dueling game set in the 17th century.
Yeah, it's 3D Bushido Blade.
Yeah.
Basically. One good hit, and you're done.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm watching the little trailer of it there. Anyway, that's what this music's from. We'll be back with more In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chats. All RJ and Scott here with you, and we've got Biloxi Gambler on the phone, who we're going to right now. By the way, this is music from a game called The Tenants. The Tenants. I have no idea what you're supposed to do in a game called The Tenants. It sounds like it's a harass your people living in your apartment type thing. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. Become a landlord and deal with problematic tenants.
Oh, okay, yeah. All
As
right.
you build your rental empire. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, Biloxi.
Hey, RJ. Hey, Jay. And, of course, I can stay through the break. I know how to play talk radio. Never hung up a day in my life.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And I know what language to use, too.
Good
what
job. Good job. Sometimes I don't.
I've never been dumped. Okay, well, I'm glad you completed the game. I really enjoyed the game. The supernatural actually began before the first person died. Because when you're walking along that path, and without giving things away,
yeah,
you see the flamethrower, which you don't know it's a flamethrower.
Right? No, you don't.
And you go, well, that's weird, and then you keep going, and then blah blah. And I did mention something, one little secret to you about the. Did you notice, the tattoos or what? There was only one tattoo.
Right.
And,
that did come into play.
Yeah, it did. And so it was always set to be, with the supernatural. And then, when the without giving it away, right after they got down that path, that person they thought was the evil person. And, of course, I played it both ways, one where I turn loose and one where I don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen what's going to happen. But that's the good guy. He was the one that lives up there to protect these stupid kids. And do you know who that is? It was the writer.
Yeah, it was the writer.
Thing.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing him because we got to one of those things where you watch the video after you.
Yeah, after they did meet the characters.
Yeah, and we saw him talking about writing the game and stuff, and then we saw him come up in the game. I was like, that's him. That's the same dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So without giving it away. Here's the deal that I have done, I know a dozen times. My thing is, you have an opportunity to kill him. I was wondering what would happen if you could kill him. And you can't get the pistol. I mean, you can get the pistol from the other guy where you can make the choice. But I've done it over and over and over again, and I can't do it. I don't know if it's just eye-hand reflex, but I've tried it, and I know it. And I'm right there on the button, ready to go to fire the weapon, and I can't fire it. You cannot. I don't think he can be killed.
I don't think so either.
It flashes you. What do y'all call them? QTE or something?
Yeah.
But it flashes you the thing where you can push the button, and I push it, and it will not kill him because he's going to do. I think that monologue that he does that explains exactly what's going on. And, blah, blah, blah.
He's got to give you some exposition. Otherwise, you'll never know what the whole situation is. You'll never realize the whole vision based on movement thing that they get and that sort of situation. He gives you kind of a backstory, especially when it comes to the supernatural element of the whole thing. So, but yeah, he didn't stick around long in the game. I mean, obviously he was there up until the point, but I mean, from the time that he makes his reveal to the group.
I don't think he can make it after that.
To the time that he doesn't make it, it's a very quick. It's probably one single chapter worth, really. I mean, he's there in the background at the beginning of the game and throughout parts of the game as well. But his whole identity reveal and everything else and death all happens in one single chapter. I mean, it comes and goes. He doesn't stick around. I don't think he does. He may get a reveal at the end of a chapter and then the death happens in the next chapter or something like that. So, I mean, he doesn't. Yeah,
he don't make it long after that monologue.
No, and he's not part of the. And not to spoil anything, but he's just not part of your group at all. So it's not one of those that you're going to have, an ending based on the fact that you saved him or killed or whatever. I don't think he. You talk about this. You don't think he can be killed early on. Well, I don't think he was saved either.
I think his fate is sealed.
I think I don't think there's any way to save him.
We can do to change his fate. Yeah, that's it. So I think that's how it is for him anyway.
Lately I've been going back playing Red Dead Redemption 2, And the bad thing, is I'm doing different things, trying to pick up different stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing that's disappointing about that game is there's no way to avoid him from getting TB.
From getting tuberculosis. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, tuberculosis. Yeah, he's going to get it no matter what.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got so disgusted with it because I know where he gets it at and when he gets it. And I went and I read this, and I saw this video. Of course, it's available for everybody. And there's absolutely no way to stop it. So he's got a built-in clock on him when he's going to. But then he's weak and all that. But I did love Man of Medan, so I want to hear your reviews of that too.
Okay, got it. We'll probably start that tomorrow, tonight maybe. I don't know. So
yeah. And then Lost City. In the beginning, a Man of Medan is going to throw you completely the wrong way. You're not going to like the game at first. Okay, but anyway, that's all I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay.
But you trust me, it all comes together. It is pretty cool. Then they've already got, I think, Lost City or something like
Little
that.
Little Hope.
Little Hope. Yeah. So Little Hope, I have not gotten yet because I'm not through with Man of Medan, and I'm not through with Until Dawn. I'm still going back to those. I'm going to wear them out. And then I'm going to do that, and I think they're going to have another game out. Well, they said December of 2021, but, that'll be, longer than that. And I really like to play a game, RJ. I really like to play a game who's playing Cyberpunk. I like to play a game after it's been out about 4 or 5 years, so all the bugs and everything are fixed.
Yeah.
We can only hope. After 4 or 5 years, we only hope
we'll
that
see about
get
that
everything fixed.
Because it's not current to the current news anyway, so they're all new to me. But anyway, I appreciate it. But like I said, I do know how to hold through a break because all my friends know. Don't call between 4 and 6 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because he's listening to a radio show. He ain't going to answer.
Yep.
Well, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate y'all.
All right,
it's very, very entertaining. Thank you very much.
Take care, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he mentioned something about getting tuberculosis, and one of the characters is no getting out of it, right? It reminded me of a character in Samurai Showdown, dude named Ukyo Tachibana. He has tuberculosis. He gets sick in number 2. That was in 1994. Samurai Showdown, the remake of Samurai Showdown came out. He's been sick with tuberculosis for like 15, 16 years. So he's going to be stuck with it from now on. So he'll be around, man.
What did they call it? They call it, because I've watched Deadwood a lot, and they called it something else. But he had tuberculosis, and it was something. They called it something else.
Something lung.
No.
That's coal miners, isn't it? Black lung is coal miners, right?
Black lung.
Okay.
It was called consumption. I think it's what it was. Consumption. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is what that was, another term for tuberculosis, I believe. Am I right in this, or am I wrong? Yeah, a wasting disease, especially tuberculosis consumption. Yeah. That's what it's called. Anyway, yeah, we'll try out Man of Medan and Little Hope. If it hits Game Pass, we'll probably pick it up and do that. Man of Medan is on Game Pass, which is why I downloaded it. And apparently, there's like a director's cut of Man of Medan. It's a free add-on.
Okay.
To the game, and I don't think it's called director's cut. I think it's called something else. But it's got other characters, I think, that you can play as and different paths to take. Obviously, I haven't even touched the game, so I don't even know.
The Curator's Cut.
The Curator's Cut, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Allows you to play alternative scenes that were not available in your first playthrough, giving a different perspective on the events of your story. Okay.
Yeah. So I grabbed that, too. I don't know what that'll do, but we'll see. I'm curious about it. Probably should play the game without, like, that first, and then see if I need to go back and do that. Or maybe I'll look something up to see if, like, should I play this first, or what should you, the whole way to do that, or go
get the vanilla version first, and then get the one with the
or they could say just play the Curator's Cut through, and you'll be fine. You can watch that, or play that, and it's better. Or you can experience it this way, or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out. So, anyway, a lot of news to discuss, even though we only got about 10 minutes left in this segment here. I don't know really where to start. I will say that, so we'll start with the fact that the PSP, the PS Vita, and the PS3, all of those stores are going to be closing this summer. And I don't exactly know what that means. Does that mean you can't access the PlayStation Network from the PlayStation Store on the network from those? Or are those segments of the store going to be removed? The Vita segments, the PSP segments, and the PS3 segments, are those going to be removed? Let's see. I don't know. I've got an article here from GameIndustry.biz. It is an opinion article, by the way.
It's an opinion article.
Yeah.
I would just guess that not available for download. You won't be able to download stuff on your older consoles.
Whether it happens this summer, as is widely rumored, or at some point in the near future, it's an inevitable event. Sony is going to shut down the digital storefronts for its legacy consoles. The rumor mill suggests it's happening all at once. The PS3, the PSP, and the PS Vita stores all going offline simultaneously. There's a short to medium term fate of those stores. Sadly, the closure of these stores will shut off. This is a very long article here. It's basically about the fact that they have an obligation to preserve that. Sony does, according to this opinion. And I'm trying to look at... In effect, the closure of these 3 stores will shut off regular consumers' access to a giant segment of gaming history. Many hundreds of games spanning the period from Sony's market entry in late 1994 through to the PS4 launch in 2013. That's almost a 20-year period, one which included a host of cultural and creative landmarks for video games, many of them on Sony's platforms. On one hand, of course, this is a strong argument for people who care deeply about access to legacy or retro games, investing in physical copies of those games, but the ability to experience, enjoy, and understand the history of the medium shouldn't be restricted only to those with the foresight to buy physical copies. Moreover, many of those titles didn't even have physical editions. Some of those are digital only, and then when this has gone away, they'll be gone too.
Or if there's a demand for it, they'll re-release it or something. I mean, classic retro gaming, through emulation, ROMs, things like that. I mean, there's a way to get some of these old titles, to play some of these old titles.
Yeah, well,
heck, retro's a big thing, man. I mean, I
understand there's ways. Trust me, there's ways.
Yeah.
There's ways of getting what you want, but this is looking at it from a legitimate point of view, obviously, to where it's like, this is you need to preserve this. You need to keep this around.
Okay. Sony Classics Volume 1, 1999.
I have no idea. I really don't know.
But that's the way I'm seeing is going to be put out if that's the case.
I'm curious as to why they got to be taken off the store to begin with.
Who knows? Free up space for other things. I don't know.
I suppose. I don't know.
Maybe it's a resource thing.
Well, the other thing is obviously their account people have looked over this, and have said that we're not making money off of these. Here's the money that came in last year on all 3 of these stores, and here's how much we have to pay to maintain all 3 of these stores per year.
There you go.
Here's the difference. The maintenance is probably up to here. The buying is probably, not even half that. You know what I'm saying? It's probably less than half.
We're at the point now where this is not worth having.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I don't necessarily... The amount of times I've ever gone back to a store, online type of thing, regardless, and gone back to a store and looked for something that was in that age group, of the ones I mentioned, the Vita, the PSP, and the PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't go... I mean, I go back because I did the little NES Mini and I put a bunch of Nintendo games.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
And if Sony did something like that, which I think they did do a PlayStation Mini, and there was a way, I'm sure those games are available for me to do the same thing that I did last time.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I
just rarely do it.
I mean, the only thing I really do for my PS3 right now is make sure it's updated and everything like that. But I backed up everything I had on my PS3 a long time ago, and I had no desire to pick up anything else on there. I mean, It's not like anything's advertised coming out for the PS3, but no. I mean, what we got is what we got.
When is the last time you went back to play your PS3?
Let's see. I played Max Payne 3.
Yeah, you go back a lot.
Yeah, I go back a lot, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've done so. But in particular, I wanted to back up everything I had on my hard drive because some of the stuff I can't get digitally anymore. Mm-hmm. So preserving stuff, I want to make sure I keep that. So hence backing up everything I can on there.
Gotcha.
So because if I try to download it from the store, it's not gonna be there. So in that respect, I can keep what I got, but I have no reason to pick up anything new on there. Even though there's a whole bunch of surrounding these rumors, there's a whole bunch of articles. There's a bunch of people talking about what to pick up from the store or whatever before it's shut down in the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
I probably got like a few of those that I haven't played yet. It's probably part of the backlog.
Yeah, I've still got, Thar says he talks about his PSP. I still have my PSP. I still have my Vita. I still have my PS3 somewhere. Yeah. Still have all those. So, interesting. Let's go to the phones again while we got some time here, because Crawdad's on the line. Hey, Crawdad.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm listening to what you guys are talking about, and it rang true on something. Legacy of Kain, Raziel, and that entire series. It says here, this article that I'm looking at, game temporarily removed from sale.
Oh, yeah, they're doing an update.
As Square Enix tells customers, check back soon. Well, that was one of my favorite games. One of my for many, many reasons. And it said also deeper in that article that for the last 10 years, they've been trying to, last decade, multiple unsuccessful attempts have been made to revive the series. That was an awesome game.
Yeah.
And another one was it was based on H.P. Lovecraft. You can help me with that. You know exactly what H.P. Lovecraft.
Call of Cthulhu?
Yes, all that series in there. That was another one. And the graphics on that were not so hot, but the soundtrack and the storyline was awesome. And I hate to see that some of these games, I don't know if they're doing some kind of polling out there and pulling these things because they're not appealing to a newer crowd, but I never got a chance to get that one off of the internet again. But I understand correctly that some of these games, you can play them on a PC and some you can't. I don't know if that Legacy of Kain one is going to come back where you can play it on a PC or not. Do you?
Yeah, I think it will, actually. I don't think they're removing it. I think the words that they said is that, like it said, check back soon, important updates. They've temporarily removed this to work on some important updates. Please check back soon. I think it'll come back in. I don't think there's any kind of a licensing thing. I think that maybe they are running some updates for it.
Okay.
I don't exactly know what they could be running an update for on a game from 1999.
Exactly.
But I don't think it's going away. I really don't think it's going away.
And I saw that the Bandicoot's coming back in some form here.
Oh, by the way, the game is still available on Good Old Games, by the way. GOG, G-O-G, Good Old Games. If you go to GOG.com, Legacy of Kain is still there.
Okay.
And that's on PC, so you could still get it from there if you wanted to.
Now, isn't Good Old Games, isn't that owned by the company that just recently got in all kind of trouble over the Cyberpunk thing?
Yes, it is. It's the same company. CD Projekt Red, I think, is their name. They're based out of
somewhere in the old bloc,
Poland,
old Soviet.
Yeah, I think. Aren't they a Polish? No, Czech.
I think
Czech,
Ukrainian or Polish, one or the other.
Is it Czechoslovakia or is it Polish?
Polish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're a company out of Poland there, but yeah, they own CD Projekt Red. Also owns Good Old Games as well. So, which is that's up to you on that if you want to buy from them or not. I don't mind the Cyberpunk thing because that's one game that they made. This is a storefront, and it's also for a game that was not made by them. So
the reason I ask is a friend of mine who's 82 years old. He doesn't listen to your show, so he won't mind if I talk bad about him when he's not listening.
Okay.
No, he went to go to the store. He bought the Cyberpunk thing, and he's waiting on whatever fix they're supposed to do to that.
Wait, you got an 82-year-old friend who bought Cyberpunk?
Absolutely, that's why I thought
That's
I'd tell you. Isn't that
fantastic.
interesting? He thinks he's 82 going on 30. He goes out and he cuts his own yard, and he's going to live to be 150. Just watch. But yeah, he enjoys computer games.
That's fantastic.
It is. He enjoys the video games. He likes the sound and the music and the activity. And personally, I think he likes shooting things because his wife tells me that in his sleep, she'll see him look over there and he's doing his hand like a pistol, going pew.
Well, you need to get him listening to the show. Then we need to get him listening to the show. Then
he'll be your oldest subscriber.
That'd be fantastic. I guess I really don't know who all out there is listening, but that would be great.
Well, you guys keep well and always enjoy your show, and you have many listeners. I know a lot of us don't call all the time, but I think we're all listening all the time.
Well, it's wonderful to hear from you all the time, man. So thank you so much for
that
calling.
Legacy of Kane, some of that music, there's a way to find some of that music just for the sounds, right?
Well, the sounds. If you're talking about the sound effects and stuff, I'm not exactly sure, but I believe when you buy off of GOG, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe when you buy off of GOG, you get the music, like the music files or the soundtrack for a game. Usually, I think.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that.
Do you remember when I was telling you about something? It was not battle tanks, but it was something like that. And it had assault rigs.
No.
You don't remember that assault rigs?
Maybe.
Okay.
Is that the one that had the soundtrack with what's his name in it? Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the kind of thing that gets me is I can listen to something. And I can hear in it where they may have been influenced by something else. And I hear that in a lot of things. It's like, aha, you were listening, like when I hear the Black Eyed Peas, I'm like, yeah, you guys were listening to Jimi Hendrix. Aha. Mm-hmm. I pick up on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see the soundtrack coming with Soul Reaver there. It's $7 on GOG.
Oh, well, you can't beat that.
But I don't see anything about a soundtrack in there at all.
Well, I'm going to head over that way.
All right, man.
Y'all take care.
You too, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have more of in-game chat right after we hear from music. This is from a game called 30XX. I think we've played some music from 30XX before, but this is called Embers of Hope. We'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Breath Edge.
Breath Edge.
I know, it's kind of weird. Breath Edge.
Memorable.
That's just me trying to find music.
Yeah, this is one of our things. Like it's kind of like a game we play. Like try to guess what genre of game it is based on the title. Yeah.
This says it's survival. It's an ironic outer space survival adventure game. Survive in outer space together with your immortal chicken. Discover the truth behind your sudden spaceship crash. Craft tools, pilot vehicles, even control space stations to survive and explore the wreckage.
And another description is Outer space survival adventure game about an average Joe trying to carry his grandpa's ashes to a galactic funeral only to find himself in the middle of a universal conspiracy.
Yeah.
But you said immortal chicken.
It says immortal chicken. Together with your immortal chicken.
Okay.
What's the name of the game you found? Breath Edge.
Breath
right?
Edge.
Breath Edge. Breath Edge. Or Breathe.
Breath.
I don't know.
I hope we're talking about the same game.
I think we are. Red Ruin Softworks.
Yeah, Red Ruin's all good. Because it would be messed up if it was like there's Breath Space Edge,
I know,
and then there's
completely
Breath
different.
Edge when I just pulled up. So
Yep. Anyway, that's what that music is from.
Immortal Chicken.
Immortal Chicken. Let's talk to Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Hey there. Hello from Germany.
What's going on in Germany?
Not much. Pretty much the same like everywhere else at the moment.
Pretty much. What's been going? So did you finish? What were you doing? Tabletop RPG? Is that what you were playing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, did you finish
online.
that up? Oh, it'd have to. I guess it would have to be, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
A Zoom tabletop RPG. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, not Zoom, but yeah.
Well, I understand. Yeah, I know, but that's just putting it in thinking like that. But yeah. So yeah, how's it? How you been doing? What's going on?
Oh, doing fine. Enjoying the new place. Playing games.
Always good. What have you played recently? I mean, obviously your tabletop, but what have you played recently?
Yeah, I got Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch.
You got what?
Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, Monster Hunter Rise. Oh God, I can't stand on it. I bought Monster Hunter, but I wanted to get into it, but I just couldn't, and it was just this whole.
Did you have the same issue I did?
It was just a bunch of hack and slash, and I couldn't really. There was no style to it.
It was I was wondering if you had the same issue that I had, Scott, with the. It's not the hack and slash that bothers that got me. That was fine. I could handle that. It was just a long. You actually hunt.
You do hunt, and
the hunting there are long delays, and when you have to go out and search and find clues and things like that. And from my perspective, it took a long time for that action to kick up, and that's what killed my interest in it. It took too long for the action to spike in the game.
For me, it didn't, because I would play in groups. I'd rarely play that game solo. I'd play in groups, and somebody in the group would always know where to go. Mm-hmm. And so we just follow that person to whatever it was and do what we got to do. So
maybe that was my thing, because I played in groups a little bit, but most of the time it was I didn't know anybody, but I was playing the game solo a lot. But it just took too long for action to heat up. And when I did get it, it was fine. The action was fine. It was just a long delay in between.
I mean, I really tried to. I mean, I bought the game, and I got the Steelbook version, of course, but I bought the game, and I tried to get into it, but man, I just couldn't. How is Rise? That's the Nintendo Switch. That's the exclusive to the Switch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's timed exclusive. It will come to PC next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how is it?
It's fun. It's
just more Monster Hunter, I guess, right?
It's more streamlined than World and Iceborne was in many terms, and has lots of quality of life improvements.
I hear it was talked about. It was nicknamed like there was a class in there, the ninja class. There's like ninja type moves or whatever going on in that game. Is that something that you saw in there?
Well, it's a little more focused on moves in the way that you can switch moves to customize your playstyle a little bit depending on which weapon you use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And well, the whole theme is feudal Japan. So ninja outfit.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And the roofs like you see them in Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, very Japanese this time around.
Okay, so Monster Hunter Japan, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's why I was nicknamed that then.
Which is basically what it is anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also you have like pretty much you have a grapple hook now that you can use anywhere. It's like a bug that can hang in the air and you can dangle from it in midair and stuff like that.
From anywhere?
Yeah,
we're talking
it really sped up the whole movement aspect of the game because every class can hop and zip around like nobody's business now.
Oh, that's nice.
You can wall run. You can pretty much get anywhere as long as it's inside of the map. You can reach any height because you can keep climbing upwards as long as you have the stamina for it.
Sounds like Spider-Man.
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah. If you can catch anything you want and run up and do all types of stuff, then yeah, it does sound like Spider-Man.
Yeah, and regarding the problem you had with World, with the whole finding the monster and stuff like that,
yeah,
you basically start the map with knowing where the monsters are. The whole map has to be uncovered once you enter the area for the first time.
Yeah,
and then you always have it uncovered. You don't have to follow some weird pointer box where you have to go like you had in World. Those hunting flies or what they were called. So yeah, it's pretty much very action focused and get there quick and hit the monster lots.
Okay. So there's no footprints or scent tracking or things like that. It's just like
nothing like that.
So it's basically the monster's here, go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And also once you hunt a monster, once you see in game all the stats you pretty much need. You see the drop rates, you see the resistances and everything that you usually needed a wiki for somewhere on the web page.
Okay. So definitely more action based instead of hunting based.
Yeah, it plays a lot faster, and the moves are flashier as well. The whole world aesthetic was a little bit more gritty, realistic in the colors and such. And the Switch one is a lot more colorful, and the designs are more out there as well.
Okay. Yeah, see, I think one of the things that I had was I don't think there was any speed weapons in Monster Hunter World, really. I mean, even the katanas was like oversized, and it took like forever to swing. I mean, heck, my case, since I played Dark Souls and everything a lot, I had the same type that I played in that game, a gun lance, because you got a shield and a big weapon to go with it. So I was going with that. But as you said, everything is faster and more streamlined in there. Anything? So you got heavy weapons in this game, or is everything speed based in Rise?
The weapons are the same, but they're like I said, you have the box. You also have a mount now, which you can call anytime, pretty much.
Okay.
And the gun lance, as example, has a move now where you can pretty much just charge a shot, aim the gun lance behind you, and boost forward like you have a rocket pack.
Oh, like a rocket jump. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm glad it's there. Obviously, it's getting the sales, but it just never stuck in me. It never put a, and I wanted to, and I tried it, and I know Josh knows because he would see me on playing it. I know on PlayStation 4.
I gave it a shot. We gave it a legitimate shot. But if it doesn't hook you, it just
and I kept coming back because I would come to work and I would think about, I get home, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get into that game. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna. I was really eager to get home and play more of it. And then at some point, that just was all like for nothing because I would get there and I would play it and I was like, man, it's still not doing it. I'd go in there
you're not feeling it.
Do the armor stuff that you'd have to do, and then you'd feed the cats or the cats would feed you or whatever the case may be, and then
the cats will feed you. You have to feed the give attention to the pig there in the port. Yeah.
I mean, that's just a small thing, but still, for whatever reason, man, it still did not stick with me.
I mean, the element of like building up my own weapons and things based on everything I've hunted and caught, that was a aspect that I enjoyed. I mean, I saw the tree of where I could evolve my gun lance into metal or bone or stone based on the things I hunted and the attributes that I could pick up on there. That was interesting to me. I'll say, okay, I need this. Okay, go out there and hunt it. But like I said, the hunting, the time it took to get to those things, that's what I started thinking about that a lot. And it just the desire to keep going there just dwindled away after a while. But it's nice to see that in Rise. That's not going to be an issue in Rise though.
Yeah, it feels quicker. I mean, I played through the solo content, which is easier. It's meant to be easy as well. I started doing the multiplayer stuff, which you can do solo as well. Every monster scales to any number of players from 1 to 4 now.
Right.
And I don't have endgame gear. I'm just getting started in the multiplayer next tier of stuff. It's called high rank, and you start in low rank. So monsters get tougher, have more moves and different behaviors and such. And even then, for a single monster hunt, I'm taking like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not that long, I think.
No. There have been hunts that I've been on where it took a heck of a lot longer than 15 minutes, and the bulk of it was looking around. I think there was one. I think it was called a Rathalos, if I'm not remembering right. It was one. It was basically a fire breathing bird, and that I got that thing on the brink of death, and that thing took off, and I'm sitting on the ground, and that thing took off in a nest. I'm like way up here somewhere, and I don't have a mount, so I'm going to have to hike. I'm going to have to hoof it up there to the nest in this heavy gun lance gear, and walk up there and get to it. And then by the time I get to it, it went to sleep. And as it sleeps, it's rebuilding health.
Yep.
It was on the brink before. By the time I could get to the thing, that thing's built up to half its health back. So I'm like, I got to start over. I almost have to start over again. And at that point, I was putting like barrel bombs around him while he was sleeping.
I know it's weird.
I got upset at that point.
It's weird because you'll start out, and I mean, this is how games like this work. Same way with Destiny, I guess, and some others. Mm-hmm. You'll start that game and you're fighting some monsters or whatever, and it's like a tough fight. You get through it, and then like 3 hours into the game, or maybe even 3 days into the game, ever how much you've done this, you'll come across those enemies that took forever for you to beat all over the place, and it'll take nothing for you to take them out because you've leveled up and advanced so much. Yeah. And basically, that's just how the loop works. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, but in this case, the time it takes for you to get the payoff really is
which is weird because I grind all the time in Destiny.
Yeah,
but I can't do it in that.
You grind multiple things in that game though. You could do multiple.
I would imagine you can do multiple things in Monster Hunter as well. Really? Okay.
For me, one hunt solo draining. Yeah. I got to go through this again. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is like the payoff doesn't come quick enough, I guess.
I would get, and I did see myself getting. I remember getting frustrated to some enemies and stuff, like just annoyingly frustrated. Mm-hmm. Where I would get where it was like affecting me, that I had to stop playing it.
Yeah,
because I know we got through a fight with one of these guys, and then we just couldn't do it, and we all got taken out, and that sort of thing, and just it was to start over, and I was just like, I'm not going through that again.
Switch games, take a break,
basically
go do something else, have a drink, come back to it later, eventually. But in terms of Monster Hunter, like I said, it's like the long time it took for you to get the payoff. Like I said, with Destiny, you have multiple things you could do. You can do a Gambit or a Crucible or just another mission or another raid or something like that over and over again. But like one hunt there was so much time you had to invest in like one hunt, and you get the rewards after that, and it's not enough. Now you want to go another long, drawn-out hunt again? No, not really.
How does it look on the Switch?
It's clearly not on the next-gen system.
Right,
you can tell that.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, it holds 30 pretty solidly, unless you're playing with 4 people and effects are like everywhere. So, and I'm playing docked like most of the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any complaints really. I mean, sure, 30 FPS versus 60, the usual.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
you also understand you're playing on the Switch, and that's just just comes with the territory, man.
Yeah, and since I don't plan on getting a gaming PC anytime soon, so
yeah.
Good luck buying parts for a gaming PC anytime.
Yeah, that's another issue at the moment, exactly. But I'm not really inclined to get one in the first place. So, I knew when I was going in, it won't be hitting 60. And I mean, as long as it's consistent 30 and not jumping up and down, it's fine, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate you calling, Josh.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Well, take care, buddy, and we'll talk to you next week.
You too as well. Bye.
Take care now.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I just one of those games that never stuck with me. It just never did.
And it is a popular title. It's world renowned, famous all over the place, man. But it was just but heck, so is Final Fantasy, and I gave that a shot, and I just could not.
Yeah, I
just
where
could
I
not
sit
get
with
into
Final
it.
Fantasy. I sit in the same place in Final Fantasy as I do with probably Monster Hunter. I give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I always do.
Give it a shot. Give it a legitimate shot, but if it doesn't hook you.
Hey, apparently Discord is for sale. From what I understand, this comes from Bloomberg. They reported that Microsoft is one of several companies in talks to purchase Discord, a price said to be in excess of $10 billion.
With a B.
As a B.
Mm-hmm.
The update on that is that Microsoft is exclusively in talks, ruling out other companies on this, while also saying they could complete a deal next month, assuming the negotiations don't fall apart. Microsoft could be owning Discord this time next month.
Mm-hmm.
Very possible.
Yeah.
And, so we talked about, last week we talked about how Microsoft is a game company buying up game studios and letting them do their thing. It's like, it's good. And I mentioned this. I said, well, it's a little different if you talk to people who experience other aspects of Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily the game aspects, but maybe the software aspects, the platform aspects, because they probably have a much different opinion about that. Because, thank God it's not Google that's buying them, because Google likes to kill everything that they make.
Yeah, they do.
But Microsoft, Microsoft bought Skype. Skype is dead pretty much now. Mm-hmm. There's Microsoft Teams, which I think replaced Skype, but nobody uses.
I got to use that.
Yeah, nobody likes using it.
I have to.
I know.
For work, so yeah.
But, you think of, Mixer was another situation. They tried to do Mixer, couldn't do that. I mean, Discord, if they buy Discord, just leave it alone. Do your stuff, whatever. Just let it do its thing. And don't try to Microsoft it.
But will they?
They're going to Microsoft it.
They're going to Microsoft it.
They always Microsoft it.
Yeah. That's the thing we were talking about with Evo. We were talking about what is Sony going to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are they going to do with it? That's the question That's the question we're waiting on. So if Microsoft does pull this off, what are they going to do with it? They're going to Microsoft it.
Again, I got to look at. This is probably a fault of mine, thinking that there are smarter people in the room type of situation. I got to feel like their money people looked at stuff, like the situation with Sony and Evo.
Yeah.
Their money people probably looked at, here's how much Evo costs.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how much Evo brings in revenue-wise. Here's what we can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a sense of, let's brand this more Sony than anything else, but let's see how we can have it make more money for us. Mm-hmm. And I got to think Microsoft would look at the same thing as Discord. We're going to pay $10 billion. And again, this is
with
probably, I know, for us, that's a lot of money. For Microsoft, it's probably nothing. But for, they sold, did they sell Mixer? They just stopped it. I thought they sold it, but I don't think they did. I think they just stopped it. Yeah, I know. There are aspects of it, but you're saying look at Facebook. Facebook and Microsoft aren't the same. Not on the software side of things. Again, Microsoft game company and Microsoft software company or whatever that is, that does with apps and things, and I don't know, whatever side that is. Mm-hmm. Different. It's a different group. It's a different beast. It's a different thing. Never says the Super Game Sniper 9 says it never ceases to amaze me that we all went to Zoom, a relatively unknown program for video conferences and meetings, compared to Skype or Discord during the early months of the pandemic. I know. I agree with you. I know. What I think is that some people just used it and Zoom just had a really nice flashy name and people flocked to it. Zoom had a better name than Teams had. Because I'll be honest with you, my first thought was Skype, and I didn't realize it until we started wanting to do stuff here in the studio with that. I realized Skype's dead. and use Skype forever. And I knew there was Discord, but I was thinking more in the sense of Discord feels more gamey, obviously. Feels more like gamers, Discord gamers. Skype, business, and, Skype's the suit and tie, Discord's the long hair.
Yeah, the more casual one.
Yeah. That sort of thing.
One's professional, one's casual.
Right,
There you go.
It's the mullet of the...
Yeah.
Of the communications
The mullet,
situation.
the mullet of the chat world,
I
folks.
guess that's
There
what
you
I
go.
wanted to call that. So, yeah.
Mullet.
Yeah, Zoom. I don't know. I've used Zoom a few times. Not much. I just again, like Monster Hunter, I couldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Who has but Zoom can have a conference with hundreds of people at once. Yeah, see, that was my experience. I attended a virtual wedding for some friends of mine up in Colorado. Dave, who's been on the show, I think, once. He got married, and they did their whole wedding through Zoom, which originally was going to be a flight up to Colorado to see him. And I hated that we couldn't do that because, first off, it's a place I've never been. Secondly, this guy got married. A friend of mine got married. It's great. But I had to watch it through there. And I don't know. You're probably thinking there was probably maybe 60 or 70 people who were in that. Who were cameras and stuff involved with all that stuff. So, but yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. If they buy it, that's fine. Somebody will either make something else, or they'll just leave it alone, and it'll work out okay. So,
Yeah.
one of the two is going to happen. So we'll see. We're going to go to a break here. We've got music here from Yakuza 6. This is a track called Brother Brother from the Yakuza 6 soundtrack. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Nuts. It's about watching a squirrel.
Fitting name.
It's like you're doing surveillance on a squirrel.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures of it. It's like inverted colored and then things like that.
It's it's very low key type stuff, not graphic intensive or anything like that.
Okay. A single player surveillance mystery.
Yeah.
Record the squirrels, report your findings, and piece together what's really going on in Melmoth Forest. Okay, so there's something more than squirrels foraging for food in this forest here.
More than meets the eye.
Maybe it's like Until Dawn. Something supernatural's going on in there.
Thar says, does he run around with an immortal chicken? Possibly.
You know, if we still had names for our shows, that's exactly what the show would be called, the Immortal Chicken episode.
We did that for the longest time. We would take aspects of something that went on in the episode, and that's the way we would name the show.
Yeah.
Which I can't tell you that didn't get tiring after a while, trying to come up with something, trying to remember everything that was just said, and then picking the one thing that kind of was like the moment sort of thing. Which is why we just basically started going back numbers.
Yeah.
Just call it this episode. That's it.
Numbers are easy.
Yeah, numbers aren't they?
Unless you can't remember them. Then it's a problem.
Most of the time they are. Hey, Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Actually, when you were playing that music from Nuts, I remember seeing one of my YouTube streamers was playing that game, and they're cynical little creatures that they're plotting to do this and that and destroy the world and everything. But yeah, the things that they were doing, like a squirrel doesn't need to be doing this, and they're like these things are possessed by the devil. I mean, it's very crazy and funny, and you end up traveling and catching up to 3 or 4 of them at a time and trying to see where they're going and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I like to see some more gameplay of it and all. But it's one of those unique things that's up my alley. You know, it's interesting to see what happens next.
See, it's $20. I think it's $20 right now on Steam.
That's a little too much for me.
So much, man.
Maybe, I don't know. This doesn't seem like a game that. This seems like a game for like $5. There we go.
Yeah, came out early February this year.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much new. I mean $7, sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something around the $10 mark I'd be good with. $20, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. So, well, what's going on, Chris? Anything new?
Collecting more Laserdisc movies and been playing the Kingdoms of Amalur, the Re-Reckoning. It came out on Switch.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that again. I played it on the years ago on the 360. Been having fun, kind of cheating, or not really cheating, but just using the mechanics in the game to make a lot of money, and spend time doing this and that, and making items out of something else that you're buying and turn around and selling them for a huge profit. So.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I cheat all the time on a lot of games. If I am able to, especially when it comes to, I think I've mentioned this. Witcher 3 was one where I put in a bunch of different trainers and things so that I didn't have to worry about the weight of all the inventory I was carrying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to worry about money to buy whatever I needed to buy.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. I would put that on there. And just quality of life things that I didn't have to worry about the little things, some of the smaller aspects of the game.
Yeah, like
I didn't really have to deal with,
like duping in Cyberpunk, things like that.
Maybe, something like that.
Yeah, I remember years ago when Diablo 2 was out, I believe. Yeah, there was the second one, but me and my friends figured out how to dupe items, and they were basically, where we're just making copies of the save files and everything. We found out where the info for all your different character files were at, and we made a backup save in another folder, and then we go in there and drop the items, and then go back out of the game, and then with him staying in there, and then restore the save from before, which ended up getting everything back. You just doubled up on whatever you dropped.
Yeah.
Mm.
Getting extra stuff, duping stuff, getting all that stuff.
There's certain aspects of it I would just try to find. I did the same thing back. This goes way back to Roller Coaster Tycoon, like unlimited money or something like that. I can't remember what it was, and I didn't use it for the scenarios. The scenarios are what they are, but basically when I wanted to just
have fun,
build my own thing and have fun, you'd find you a nice plot of land, and of course you could download like these files that had larger plots of land for you to work with, and somebody would make a scenario that was empty land, infinite money.
Yeah,
so you could just go nuts.
Another one like that in Fallout 4, having to cut off the limitations to your settlements.
Oh yeah,
and duping enough wood and stone and metal and all that type of good stuff to build.
I think I ended up getting one of those similar like that, like unlimited materials, so you could build whatever you wanted to.
Yeah, and you can get I don't know, shack towers like ridiculous amounts of floors up. You have to got to build like multiple elevators to get to the top floor or whatever. Yeah, you could have a lot of when you released all the limitations, you could have a whole lot of fun in that builder section.
Well, Chris, we need to run here, but we appreciate you calling. Thank you so much for
you're welcome
calling in, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Later.
Take care now.
All right, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Jay, hey, man, listen, I'm going to be brief, but I just had to sound off about this. Did you see, it was one of the news breaks earlier today, one of those top-of-the-hour breaks, talking about squirrels. A woman reported that she had a Ring video of a squirrel stealing packages from her front porch. I don't know how large the packages were.
Right? No kidding.
And some of these fox squirrels are big as cats. But, yeah, Absolutely. It was in the news today, and I fell out when I heard that about.
I didn't hear anything about that, but I know I got to find that Ring video so I can see what that is.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's got to be out there. Hey, listen, enjoying the show. Y'all have a good day.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, Nuts is based off a true story. Then I guess. Apparently. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Let's see. Squirrel steals Amazon package from Chicago doorstep, takes it to the roof by scaling 2-story building.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Caught on camera stealing a package Sunday in Chicago. A viewer shared the video with ABC7 in Chicago showing the squirrely theft near Roscoe and Central Park Avenue in the Avondale neighborhood on Chicago's northwest side. The squirrel could be seen scaling the side of a 2-story building with an Amazon envelope, making it all the way up to the roof. There's no word on what was inside the package, but neighbors told ABC7 the squirrel is a known troublemaker, so he's done this before. Okay,
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, let me put the story link in the chat. And
yeah, please do. I want to look at that. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's great. Thanks for the call on that one, Sam. So yeah, a couple of things I wanted to get to real quick. Oddly enough, Xbox Live is no more. They call it the Xbox Network now. It's just a rebranding thing. Mm-hmm. But there's Xbox Live, and then there's Xbox Network. I don't know if this got rid of it, but I know there used to be a thing on the old Xbox 360 for your avatar and stuff, for your little character, game guy, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, avatar, I just call him, yeah.
There was a thing you could put in your gamer tag that would denote how many years you've been a member of Xbox Live.
Okay.
Because I remember it going to 10 and 15 years, and I was like, yeah, look at that, because I had been a subscriber all the way from the very beginning.
Right.
And so I like to see that kind of tick over every year, and I'm curious if they're going to keep it that way, or if it's just going to be the Xbox Network. Very much Super Game Sniper 9, very much like PlayStation Network. I did not that mimicry was not lost on me on that one, to know that they switched it over. Also, that Xbox Party Chat is no longer required, or no longer requires Xbox Live Gold for you to do the party chat. Plus, the free-to-play games are now going to be outside of the paywall. Mm-hmm. In other words, if it's a multiplayer game that's free-to-play, you can play it for free without having Xbox Live Gold or anything like that on Xbox. So, good to see that they were moving in that direction. Because that's exactly what I think a free-to-play game should be. It's just completely free-to-play. You shouldn't have to pay a subscription to get behind a wall to play a game that is free to play. It's in the name. So yeah, just wanted to hit those up. The other thing we had were the BAFTA Game Awards, British Arts and something or another. Let's see, got the full list of nominees and winners with it, as he waits for the stuff to come up here. Well, what is this? There we go. Animation, Last of Us Part 2 won that one. Artistic Achievement, Hades, which I still haven't played. Audio Achievement, Ghost of Tsushima.
Audio?
For the audio achievement,
okay.
Yeah. Best Game, there was Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima, Half-Life Alyx, Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Hades won Best Game. This is interesting. British Game, Sackboy: A Big Adventure won that one. Debut game was Carry On. That's the one where you play the monster, the scientific blob monster thing.
The science experiment gone wild, yeah.
But these are all good because nominated was Airborne Kingdom. That's on the Epic Game Store, and it's a game I was kind of interested in. You basically build a city in the sky, but you have to be careful as to balance it so that it does what it's supposed to do, so it can actually float and everything else.
So make a focal point and then build everything around that, balance and keep it that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Factorio was in there, The Falconeer was in there, Roki, and Call of the Sea as well were in those. I always love the whole debut games or indie games, something like that, when they list those, because those are some really good things.
Yeah.
And they're kind of off the beaten path. Evolving Game. Oh, Destiny was nominated, but Sea of Thieves won Evolving Game. I actually agree with that. Although No Man's Sky was nominated, and if they had won, I'd have agreed with that one too. Mm-hmm. I think Sea of Thieves is a fantastic example of here's something we're just going to keep working on and improve.
Okay, so evolving game, I'm guessing would mean a game that improved dramatically that has kept showing improvement since its inception.
I think it's more of a game that just keeps getting updates, because the nominees for this were Destiny 2, Dreams, Fall Guys, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Sea of Thieves.
I would think it would be more impressive with a game that had a poor start and it's like kind of like updated itself to redeemable status. Like
I don't know that
like
Fortnite,
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I don't know that Fortnite had that.
When I think of No Man's Sky, I think of its horrible start.
Oh yeah,
and it's now updating to a respectable game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sea of Thieves, Sea of Thieves would be the same way for me as well. That's what I would think would be an evolving game. You stuck with it and improved it to a very promising level. I would think that would be the merit earning a reward. So, what was the winner? Was which one?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Yeah. So Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky, I think right off the bat as something worthy of that award.
The family category had Animal Crossing, Astro's Playroom, Dreams, Fall Guys, Minecraft, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Sackboy won. Game Beyond Entertainment. That's interesting. Last of Us Part 2 is nominated. Dreams is nominated. A game called Before I Forget. I don't know what that's about.
I'm still trying to figure out what Games Beyond Entertainment.
It says Game Beyond Entertainment. Spiritfarer is in there, and I love Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
I like even the concept of Spiritfarer, which is basically you taking people that have died to let them move on into their death complete, happy, satisfied or content with what's to come. Another game called Tell Me Why, which is by the same people I think that did Life is Strange, I think. And the winner on that one was Animal Crossing for the Game Beyond Entertainment. That's interesting. Game design, Hades won that one. Multiplayer, Animal Crossing won that one. Music, Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's interesting. Narrative, Hades won that one, but Spider-Man, Kentucky Route Zero, Ghost, Cyberpunk, and Assassin's Creed were all nominated for that one, but Hades won. Original property, Carrion, Fall Guys, Ghost, Hades, Spiritfarer, and the winner was Kentucky Route Zero. Performer in a leading role. The girl who played Abby in Last of Us Part 2, she won. Does this...
The voice actor or the body actress?
Probably it's both in that game. Laura Bailey. She did the mocap and the stuff, which is what they do. I know for Last of Us, or I know for Naughty Dog, what they do is the actor performs.
Okay.
And so, but that way they can get the actual the way it fits with the grunts, and the movement and that sort of thing. It actually kind of ties in better.
I was thinking about the body double they used for what they based Abby on. I was thinking that. Okay.
She beat out Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2. She beat her. Female V in Cyberpunk 2077 beat whoever that actress is, Sharamay Lee. Okay. Cody Christian is Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy Remake. Jin, the guy that played Jin in Ghost.
Okay.
He was nominated too. And Najee Jeter as Miles Morales in Spider-Man, nominated as well. Performer in a supporting role, Logan Cunningham in Hades. Technical achievement, Dreams. And Game of the Year voted for by the public was Last of Us Part 2. But the big winner, Game of the Year on this one, or Best Game or whatever, was Hades. Which, again, I thought it would be, I thought it would go to Last of Us as well. But, no, Hades was the big winner on this one. Let's see. Okay, the next one was the ID at Xbox Showcase. I was reading in the chat room, they didn't like the presentation. There was people in the chat room who didn't like the presentation of this thing. I did not watch it. What I do is when these things are over with, I go back and I look at stories like this where it's like, here's everything that was shown. And then I don't have to listen to people try and whatever. Things like this shouldn't have a host. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the general consensus in the chat room was that things was like long, drawn out that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, some dudes like talking too long and get to the point, which is kind of a general issue with a lot of these shows like that, isn't it?
I mean, I look at, when I was watching back when they had these whole things where somebody was on stage talking to you about stuff, and they still use this too, even though there is no crowd or anything. It's like, stop doing introductions,
I'm sorry. Thor says in the chat room, it wasn't all bad, but it was too long, and there were two folks who weren't even prepared. 4 hours?
It was a 4-hour thing?
This was a 4-hour thing?
Jesus.
Jeez.
That's a long...
So Thor, if you're still listening, how much of that was worth watching? I mean, out of 4 hours, how much of it was actually worth paying attention to?
Oh my God, there's so many games. I can't go over them all. Wow. So where is this? I want to try and find.
Sounds like you got a book of
the
information
video
on there.
Yeah. Let's see. ID at Xbox Showcase. That's what
it says. Devs interviews, trailers, and gameplay. Maybe 2 hours worth.
Wow, there it is.
Yeah.
3 hours and 21 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazing. I had no idea. Goodness. Oh, yeah, and they're all zooming and they're doing their... Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I could have watched an hour and a half of this.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, 3 hours and a half of this.
Yeah, Lethal says it was over 100 games on display, I guess. Over 100 games.
Yeah, my point being on these and also on any of the others is you don't need hosts. Have the game developers talk about their game and then show the video of the game. Don't have somebody coming in saying, hey, that looks really great. I can't wait to get my hands on that on such and such date. It's going to be insert some stupid pun that they think is funny. Yeah, it's always been awkward. And
is this the part where they put a musical guest in?
It's never flowed very well. It's like, just come on. Just stop that. Stop it. Yeah. See, Star says, dev interviews, trailers, and gameplay. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Don't have to have the discussion in between. Plenty of people are having discussions outside of that. That's it. No, don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't need it. Especially if, like they said, they weren't prepared.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah, it says they weren't prepared.
Yeah, even worse. So, anyway, yeah, there's a lot of games, apparently. I was going to go over the list, but there are far too many of them, and I didn't look at any of this stuff, so I have no idea, like, what would be the highlights that stick out of, like, ooh, that looks good, which means at some point I got to go back and watch 3.5 hours.
No, there's probably some Cliff Notes version video somewhere.
Yeah,
there's got to
be. There's a Cliff Notes version. I am positive.
Please let there be.
I am positive that there would be somehow. Chris Charla was on it, I guess. Said devs that have been a part of IDX so far have made over $2 billion. No, I'm sure they have. It's a great little program. I would go to the there was every year I'd go to PAX in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
There was an ID at Xbox showcase,
right? Where
the day before PAX, you'd go out to the Microsoft Studios in Seattle, and
day zero.
Yeah,
day zero. Yeah, okay.
And you'd go and you'd look at all they'd have these kiosks set up so you could play all these games, and they have the developers there too. Most of them would have developers right there next to the game for you to sit there and talk to. And I loved it. And I haven't, obviously I didn't go last year because of that, and probably not going to happen this year either. But yeah, so and I kind of missed that. It was nice to actually meet the devs, hand them my business card, strike up a conversation of hey, let's talk about this. Which honestly, they probably need that more now than they did back then when they were meeting plenty of people who did that. So, it may be worth reaching out to some of these, see if they want to come on the show. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe come on the show.
Worth a shot.
and talk to us, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Total War Rome is getting a remaster, which usually the Total War stuff, I think this would be the first remaster of its kind, but I mean, it's a big undertaking for the remaster that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Mafia remaster that they did, where they brought in, you know, they re-recorded the voice stuff. They did a bunch of different stuff.
I've never played that series. I hear about it all the time, but I've never played it.
Back 4 Blood got delayed until October. I'm not excited about Back 4 Blood. It's Left 4 Dead 3, basically.
Okay.
Same studio that started the Left 4 Dead franchise, and it's them. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? Annapurna Games is somebody I should really reach out to, because I've been very, very interested in the games that have come from them. Donut County being one of them. The game that I can't even remember that I downloaded, it's free on PlayStation Plus. Like, is it Masquerade, or what was that called? Remember the one with the relationship? They're talking, and I had to remember things are big here, and they're small out here, and that sort of thing. And you change, perspective. I can't remember. It's a puzzle game. Maquette. It's called Maquette. And so, yeah, I've really enjoyed that. And of course, I don't necessarily know that it's Annapurna. I don't know that it's them, or if they're just publishing it, or are they doing the development on it. I don't know.
I think the game you mentioned, 12 Minutes. Top-down interactive thriller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, we got to go.
I have to check that out then.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is the end of the show for us, and we have got to run. So, having said that, thanks everybody for joining us in the chat room, and everybody listening on the stream and on the radio as well. Thanks to everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes, or however you get our show for later use. Join our Discord. It's at our website. You can also ingamechat.net and subscribe to our Twitch stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all that stuff. You're hearing music from a game called Dorfromantic. I know, right? Dorf, D-O-R-F, romantic with a K.
Oh, like Mortal Kombat.
It's this very casual, calming city builder. You're hearing the trailer because you're hearing sounds from the game. It's the only music I could find from it. But it looks like it'd be really up my alley. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next Saturday.